Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Last time we were out here, it wasn't quite this cold, but take a look, we got some snow on the ground. Alright, so looking forward to using the grapple again today. I think I'll probably spend a little bit more time working around this area and moving some brush and maybe venture off to do some trail maintenance. So we'll probably bring the chainsaw along and go check out some trails and make sure they're clear and open. So all right, stick around and see what kind of fun we can have today. Well, it's warmed up a little bit since I got out here, but I gotta tell you, that cab is awesome. Nice. It's really nice to stay warm inside of that, so it makes it a little bit more tolerable. Alright, I had to take a second to stop to show you guys something because this is a perfect example here. I want you to notice how this grapple module right here is at a different height squeezing down on this log than this one is. Okay, now we're all familiar with a 3-point hitch. 3 points of contact pretty much mean it's going to be stable, kind of like a tripod. It's got 3 points of contact, it's going to be stable in all directions. However, this grapple will contact in 4 different spots. As you can see, I got contact here, I got contact here. There isn't any contact there, but it is up here, so it's on this module, so that means we're contacting. So 2 on top, and now underneath everything is resting, and being that these teeth act like forks that I can get under something and then squeeze down on it, it really makes for a secure load when I'm moving the grapple. And it's less stress points on the grapple. Some other grapples have a singular system that, you know, the whole top of it comes down as one unit. It's not separate like this Artillian Grapple is. So they're adding extra stress points at where that hinges. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but this grapple, because of its narrower modular grappling force, really contains those stress points a lot better than a wider grapple coming down, which is moving those stress points and really kind of tweaking it. So it's kind of like when you want to pick something up with your loader, you want to try and get it into the center because you don't want to have all of the stress on one arm. Okay, so hopefully you can follow that, and I hope I explained it well. Well, I was able to get quite a bit of stuff done today. I made a giant pile of logs over there, and the grapple was awesome at doing that. So I was able to clear all of this area where all of these logs were sitting, and they were sitting kind of in a low area, so they were getting a lot of moisture, and they're pretty rotten. They need to be burned. So we'll probably have a great big bonfire out here sometime, maybe when it snows. The intent is for me to get either a brush hog, probably a 4-footer for the BX, or possibly even a flail mower, and come out here next summer and really kind of clear this up and maybe get it to, well, I don't have any hopes and dreams of making it look like a lawn, but I want it to look a little bit better. Maybe do a food plot for deer. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, it gives me an excuse to either get a brush hog or a flail mower. So I'm about ready to wrap things up. I kind of ran out of time. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with this grapple's configuration abilities a little bit, because I don't know if you remember me talking about it in an earlier video, but this grapple is capable of being orientated in a few different ways. So I'm going to set that up and maybe just play with it before we get going here. So let's see what happens. I almost forgot. One thing that I wanted to show you before I start moving things around is how these the grapple module and the rake module kind of stay in place. And that's with this unique little key design. You know, gravity basically holds that from coming out, and all you do is turn and pull, and it's out. So real simple, really a simple, easy way, and I really like the way that they put cables on them, so you know you're not going to lose them, because those would be a pretty easy thing to lose. But look at this, just simple, no pins, just a little turn and pull key. And when I first saw this, I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous that this little key system would fall out and the grapple would start moving, but not even once did it move. So pretty cool, pretty neat. So wanted to show you that, and now we're going to take things apart. So one way that this can be figured is just have one rake. I mean, could you imagine? You know, you could really get into some pretty good-sized bushes and small trees, and just kind of dig those things out. Or you got a rock that's stuck in the ground that you really can't get out. This, with that single rake module, you could really get in there with a lot of force. So I'm not going to try it out this time, but it's just one of the configurations that this Artillian Grapple provides. Okay, so now I just have the one grapple module in the middle. And if I had two of those rake modules, you know, these things here, if I had two of these, I could put one on each side. But the way I got it, I got two grapples on the end and one rake module in the middle. So, you know, it really offers just a ton of versatility. Okay, why would you want one grapple on the front? All right, for boulders, guys. So for those that like to do landscaping and they got to pick out a certain boulder, so let's just pretend that these stumps are great big boulders. Sorry, I don't have any actual boulders. It's a sandy soil. So we're going to pretend that these stumps are boulders, and you can watch how I can just individually pick them up and move them. And yeah, so check it out. Alright, you can see how my one boulder just kind of split in two, but you know, you can really do some detailed work that way. So, you know, that's a unique feature. Alright, all packed up and ready to go back home. So, the story of Yukon Acres, guys. About 15 years ago or so, my uncle was having an auction. And he used to own a farm, and this was part of the farm. And he raised cattle and baled hay. And that was pretty much it. Probably about 700 acres or so. Well, he retired from the farming business and decided to put the farm up for sale, and he had an auction. Well, my dad and I had previously hunted on the land about 5 years prior to the sale. So my dad kind of knew the land, and he was at the auction, and he thought he was kind of helping my uncle get the price up, right? Well, before you know it, he was the owner of this 120 acres. And then my mom wasn't too happy. But instead of getting mad, she got even. So about a couple weeks later, my mother goes out and buys herself a brand spanking new GMC Yukon, fully loaded. And my dad was like, "Whoa, we don't have that kind of money." And my mom says, I thought we had all kinds of money. So anyways, they didn't get mad, they just got even. And that's why Yukon Acres is called Yukon Acres, because that is a true story, and it is the funniest story. And I just have a lot of fun telling that to everybody. So hope you enjoyed the Artillian Grapple and the tractor, and man, it was a lot of fun. I got to stay nice and warm in that Curtis cab. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait for the fire to burn down a little bit. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and leave me a comment. I'd love to read it. Hit the little like button, and we'll see you next time. So God bless, and keep on tractoring.